Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. We are going to be doing a full face using Only CoverGirl makeup. I purchased this entire box, as you can see, of CoverGirl makeup off of Amazon.com. Now I have Prime, and I will tell you that I spent under $60 on all of these items. This is probably the cheapest full face of makeup that I have ever done. I haven't really tried a lot from CoverGirl before. I'm pretty new to the brand, so this will be interesting actually. What prompted me to film this, obviously, is that recently CoverGirl has gone completely cruelty-free. They took the leap, as they call it, and got the jumping bunny or hopping bunny or bunny stamp of approval, and they are now the first of their caliber, this large of a brand, this mainstream of a brand that is so widely available to go cruelty-free. And I think that is absolutely amazing. There's so much controversy surrounding that. I'm not going to get into the politics of it, but I know that there are a lot of people who really try to be cruelty-free when they're buying their cosmetic and their beauty products. So I thought that this was an awesome opportunity for those that, look for that when they're shopping for their makeup, that this is a good brand. This is very affordable, obviously, and I thought it would be fun to just kind of test it out. I did purchase a matte foundation. Me and matte foundations, it's a tricky little game that we play because my skin tends to be on the drier side, so I have really exfoliated very well this morning. I have hydrated, and I've done everything that I could to get my skin prepped for a matte foundation. We're going to test all of these items. I have a ton in this box, see what works, see what is worth it, what I enjoy, and then we will just create a full face of makeup. This is a total first impressions. Let's go ahead and jump into the video. I have in front of me is the CoverGirl Simply Ageless. This is the anti-aging primer. I thought that this would be perfect because it's infused with skincare, and I'm assuming that it will be a little bit more on the hydrating side. So when I saw this, I was like, that's right up my alley. And it's not very scented. It actually has a pretty light scent. So we will start with this as our base. I'm just going to go ahead and start with one pump. Okay, a little bit goes a long way, I will say that. One pump, and I feel like my face is going to be totally covered with primer. This actually feels really nice. It's like not too slippery, but again, it feels very hydrating, and it's almost giving my skin this like luminous look. I think I like it. All right, so that is almost, it feels like the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer, but like with a hydrating aspect to it. It's not as slippery, but it still has like that blurring effect, and I feel like it gave my skin like this really beautiful base. So far, I am enjoying the CoverGirl Simply Ageless Primer. Let's move into the foundation. I have the CoverGirl TruBlend Matte Made Foundation. I have mine in the shade M10. This is supposed to be for light to medium skin tones with golden undertones. Shake it up. So it does have a pump, which is nice. I love a foundation with a pump. Oh, it does have a twist lock too on the pump. Get some of this out here. There we go. So that is what it looks like on the hand. So usually matte foundations tend to be very watery. This one doesn't feel that way. I feel like my foundation has made me look a little bit pale as of recent. So I'm wondering if I have been using a color that's just a little bit too light. So I kind of went a little bit darker this time, a little bit more golden. This doesn't have much of a scent either. It just smells like makeup. Usually I don't put foundation and dot it all over my face, but whatever. I'm going to be using a sponge for this. Now when this foundation launched, I can't remember if it launched in 40 or 42 shades or 50 shades or something like that, but it launched with a ton of shades, which I think is really amazing. And it's super affordable. Like I said, I think on Amazon I paid like $6.99 for this. At the time when I purchased it, the reason why it was so affordable was because they had all these coupons. It was like save 10%, save 40%. And I felt like the more I added to my cart, the more the savings came on. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it. So that is a very light medium coverage, I would say. And it did blend out really easily. So I'm going to go with a little bit more. One pump doesn't seem to be like a ton, so I did 2 pumps. So let's try that. This is a good opportunity to see how this layers. I do have to say, I am enjoying this so far. Usually matte foundations are not nice to me. Wait till you guys see the concealer that I picked up. It's definitely a concealer that your girl is not used to using. It's a stick concealer. I don't think I've ever used a stick concealer before, so we will see. All right, you guys, so first impressions, this foundation is looking beautiful on the skin. I'm actually shocked. This is really nice. I do like the level of coverage that I got. I like that it is buildable, and that primer too. Oh my gosh, my skin looks really good right now. So let's go ahead and continue. So here is the concealer that I picked up, mine in the shade Light 7110. Now this had like a 4.5, almost a 5-star review on Amazon. This is the CoverGirl Smoothers Concealer. It says it conceals imperfection. It is a moisturizing formula that glides on smoothly to help conceal dark circles and other imperfections. It has ginseng, chamomile, vitamin E, fragrance-free, won't clog pores, and dermatologically tested. I don't see any parabens or anything in this. In fact, the first ingredient is squalene, which is a really good skincare ingredient. So here is what the concealer looks like. And like I said, I'm not used to concealers like this, so let's just go ahead and try it out. And I will say right away, this looks like a really nice color. I feel like I struggle with concealer colors. I either go too light or the undertone is wrong. And so far looking at this, this is like my perfect concealer color. So I'm gonna bring this up on the lid because this is how I'm going to prep my eyes for shadow. But this is like really smoothing. I hope it doesn't crease a lot, but my concealer creases a lot anyway, so whatever. Go ahead and highlight here a bit. This is just like a really buttery smooth stick concealer formula. All right, so back in with the sponge, let's blend it out. That blended out beautifully. I am feeling like I am finding some really good products for you guys that are super affordable. I'm a huge fan of this concealer so far. I do want to layer it. I like first impressions. I do like how it blends out. I like the texture of it. It's very creamy, very smooth, and the color is spot on for me. So I'm going to layer it just a little bit in here, just in the center a bit. This is super brightening, and it's such a beautiful formula. This might be like one of those hidden gems. Like I said, it had massively good reviews on Amazon. I think it would blend beautifully with a brush as well. You guys, this concealer is stunning. Oh my God, the texture of it. I know I keep talking about that, but it is like so creamy. It doesn't look drying. It just looks so nice on the under eyes, and the color, it's not too bright. I'm living right now. All right, so let's move on to setting powders. I did order 2 of them. One thing I will say, if you choose to order from Amazon, they do not package well because, as you can see, this came completely busted in the box, and I was so sad. I've heard so many good things about this TruBlend mineral pressed powders, but I did also pick up one of the old school. I know this is kind of a staple CoverGirl product. This is the Clean Professional Loose Powder that, again, won't clog pores. I got mine in the shade Translucent Light. So obviously we'll be going with this one because unfortunately my pressed powder became broken. If I can get it out of the package, that would be great. Seriously, look what happened when I ripped the back off. I had better luck with the concealer. My nails are so weak right now too because I ripped off my nails. I know I'm an idiot. Look how terrible they look right now. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen one of these in so long. One of these old school like little powder fluffs that used to come in makeup. That is so old school to me. All right, so I'm just going to tap a little bit of this. That is scented, but it's not a bad scent. It almost smells like cinnamon. Now, the way that I am obsessed with setting my face products these days is using these Juno microfiber sponges. Oh my God, does it press powder beautifully into the skin. You guys, this concealer is barely creasing on my under eyes. Usually I crease like crazy. I'm a little bit shook right now. Yeah, I just said shook. So there you go. I picked up some of the powder and I'm just going to press that on the under eyes. So what kind of info do we have on this powder? It just says it can be worn alone or over your CoverGirl foundation. It won't clog pores, and again, is dermatologically tested. Just some ingredient notes. There is a ton of parabens in this. There is mineral oil. There is talc. So if you have any skin sensitivities to those ingredients, just beware. The pressed powder, let's see what the ingredients say on the pressed powder. Again, talc, but no mineral oil. But there still is parabens as well. So just something to look out for. Pressing powder into the skin versus brushing it on is going to give you that look that doesn't look cakey. So if you feel like your makeup cakes up on you a lot, try this out because, again, pressing it into the skin is a lot more effective. So let's move on to bronzer and blush. I picked up the CoverGirl TruBlend bronzer. This is what it looks like here. So it's like a baked bronzer. I thought it was really pretty. It's just in the shade bronze. I'm going to use my Delium Tools 980 large powder brush. Just going to dip into this. I'm going to go ahead and brush this on. All right, that's really pretty actually. I really like the color. This bronzer is really beautiful. It's blending really well, and it looks like it's going to be super shiny, like shimmery in the pan, but it's not. It's just like this really light, kind of just like a healthy glow. It's really pretty. So I have the CoverGirl Instant Cheekbones. This is the blush. So it's supposed to come with a blush. So these two right here, sorry, the light, are going to be your blush, and this is supposed to be a highlight. I couldn't find a highlight for CoverGirl on Amazon, and I don't know why I ordered specifically only from Amazon, maybe because I got such a good deal. I don't know. I'm going to use this brush here. This is the Jaclyn Hill, the JH04, is it? The 06. I'm going to dip in. I'm just going to mix these two pinky shades right here. I'm just going to go in with the light hand on the apples of my cheeks. My skin is still healing from the laser treatment that I had done, so I'm very hesitant with blush right now, simply because my redness seems to poke through foundation a lot unless I'm doing like a super full coverage foundation. That's just a really nice wash of color. So this blush isn't going to be overly pigmented. If you're someone that's afraid of blush and you don't want to use a ton, this is going to be for you. Also, using a brush like this is really going to shear it out, but that's kind of what I'm looking for right now. These blushes, again, are going to be more on the satin side. It's a satin finish, so again, I'm getting a little bit of a sheen, but I think it looks absolutely beautiful. It's super glowy. All right, so this is supposed to be the highlight shade, this pinky shade right here. Oh yeah, that's really pretty, actually. Sometimes I like this kind of a look where it just looks like a glow from within. So obviously it's not a super intense highlight by any means, but I think it goes well with this look that I have going on right now. My skin just looks so nice again and clean and airbrush. To the nose. And then why not? Let's go on the Cupid's bow. Really, really pretty. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and set my face down a bit because I have so much powder on, and I'm going to use my Is Clinical Copper Firming Mist. Again, that's another item that I didn't see online from CoverGirl, was a setting spray. I actually learned that from James Charles. I was watching one of his videos, and when he said you're using a lot of powder products and you're layering, especially mattifying products, that the skin can start to look very flat and dry, and you want to just give it just a little bit of a hint of a hydration back. And I think that that's a really good tip. So if you tend to have dry skin, it is kind of nice to do that. Okay, you guys, so far, I'm really enjoying my makeup right now. This is like, my skin is looking fantastic. I love everything I've tried so far, and I can't say that enough. Let's go ahead and move on to brows. I picked up the Easy Breezy Brow Micro Fine and Define. They call it a pencil crayon. I got mine in the shade Rich Brown. I didn't know what shade to pick up, so hopefully this works. I've been really picky with my brows. I did have a brow pencil that I was really, really loving, and now I'm like, I don't know. That is quite dark, as you can see, but that is fine. I do have darker brows. So let's go ahead and fill these puppies in. This is a little bit more of a stiffer formula. So if you have thinner brows, or you're someone who wants to spend a ton of time with a super precise application, that's who I feel brow pencils are for. I do use them, but I do find that they take a long time to use. All right, so this one's actually going on quite nice, really quick. I'm not having a lot of issues blending it out. All right, you guys, I'm going to finish up these brows and I'm going to be right back. All right, so brows are on. I actually do think the color was pretty spot on for me. It's a cool tone brown. Is it my favorite formula in the world off the bat? No. Is it doable? Yes. It was a little bit of a stiffer formula for me, which is not usually my favorite. I like a little bit more of a creamier brow product. Again, that's because I do have larger brows. I have no patience for my brows. Let me say that. I like something that I can just like pretty much go whoosh, whoosh, and it's on. I don't have a lot of time in the morning to do my makeup. But again, I'm satisfied with the color. It did what it was supposed to do. It looks nice. It doesn't look bad. The jury's out on that one. So for eyeshadow, I picked up one of their eyeshadow quads. Again, this is from Amazon. This is in the shade Country Woods. As you can see, one of the shades came damaged. You guys, when they sent this to me, there was like no protection in the box whatsoever. And they sent them to me in multiple shipments. There was just no packaging. And I'm like, no wonder some of this stuff arrived broken and crushed and damaged. And I was super sad. We can still use it and we will still make it work. So let's create an eye look using this eyeshadow quad right here. I'm going to start off by dipping into the lighter shade, obviously, just to lay it down as a base. None of the shades in this quad are overly metallic. It looks like all of them are almost satin shades, even this base shade right here, which is fine, whatever. I don't mind putting a satin shade all over the lid. And sometimes what I learned is that companies will add just a little bit of sheen to enhance the formula. So that's actually pretty pigmented. It's nice and light. It brightens the lid, and that's a perfect base shade, so I'm happy with that. Next, I'm going to go in with this shade over here. Obviously, there's no shade names in this. And I'm just using a Morphe M573 for this. So just go ahead and start building that into the crease. Probably going to end up using one brush for this entire look. So that one I'm not getting a ton of color payoff from. I went back in and picked up quite a bit more product. It's not a lot showing up. Let me see something once. I actually do have another CoverGirl eyeshadow palette. This was actually sent to me from Influencer, and I never even opened this up. So maybe we will try to work with these shades as well. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and I guess we're creating a smoky look. I'm gonna dip into this palette here. This is their True Naked Smoky palette. I dip into this gray shade right here. Wanted to create a very neutral basic look, which we can do, but that shadow quad was not the greatest, which is fine because everything else seemed to work amazing. And you're not going to love everything from a single brand. That's just not how it works. I'm going to pick up this darker kind of grayish blue shade right here. I'm just going to put that on the outer corners. Okay, so she wants to look patchy on this side, but she doesn't want to look patchy on this side. You guys obviously saw I laid the same base down. Moving on, believe it or not, you guys, I'm going to go in with the sponge tip applicator that came in this palette. I'm going to start off with this silver tone shade right here. Ooh, that is chunky, and she's soft. Just gonna lay that all over the lid. Sponge tip applicators can actually be pretty good for metallic shadows because they grab a lot of the product and it packs it on the lid versus where a brush wants to fluff everything out. Very similar to using your finger. I just don't feel like getting my finger in dark eyeshadow right now. Not bad. Like I said, it's very doable, but I'm just not blown away by these. I'm gonna dip into this white shade right here, this very pearlescent shade. I'm going to use the finer part of the sponge tip applicator. I'm going to focus that more so on the inner corner of the eye here, inner part of the lid, just to kind of brighten things up. I'm going to take my Delium Tools. This is the 777 Shadow Brush. Dip back into this gray tone right here, this gray shade, and I'm going to drag that along the lower lash line. Okay, so I'm actually not hating how this eye look turned out, really. It's actually quite nice. Is it my favorite? No. Are there shadows that are very affordable that are a lot better than this? Yes, definitely, but it's not the worst I've ever tried. So I'm gonna highlight the inner corner with that same white pearly shade right there. So that makes for a really nice inner corner highlight. Whoa, I went a little bit too heavy on that side. All right, so that fluffed out a little bit more than I wanted it to. Whatever, we're gonna go with it. And then just put a little bit along the brow bone here. Right, so these have a lot of kick up, a lot of fallout. The quad is a no from me, at least in this shade range here. There's real no true mattes in here, and everything just looks kind of muddy and dull, and the lid doesn't have a lot of pigment. This guy isn't terrible, but I had a little bit of trouble blending. Again, there's like no real true matte shades in the palette. It is doable, you can work with it, but again, I think that there are better affordable cruelty-free palettes out on the market, and my desk is just covered in powder since I used those. All right, so let's move on to mascara. I have the Clump Crusher Extensions by Lash Blast. It says up to a 20-time enhancement in volume and length, and this is in the shade Very Black. So this is going to be like a silicone type wand. I usually like the other type of mascara wand, but again, whatever. It's kind of what it looks like, and we will work with it. I was kind of intrigued by the volume and then the clump crusher part of things. So let's go ahead and layer this. I'm not curling my lashes right now, you guys, because I had false or like lash extensions put on several weeks ago. I have a friend that I work with that does them. She does a beautiful job. I wanted to try them out, and she told me that a lot of my lashes were broken off. And I was like, oh my God, are you serious? And she told me, she's like, well, do you use an eyelash curler? And I said, yes. And she's like, you have to be very careful because it can actually break your lashes. I'm taking a bit of a break from that. So I will say one thing I'm liking about this mascara is that despite the fact that I'm not going like this, I usually do this to my eye when I'm putting mascara on just to avoid transfer. This isn't doing that to me. I really like how this is gripping my lashes. All right, that is not half bad. That's actually a really nice mascara. I definitely have some length added in, as you can see, like, that is really nice. You do have to layer it a bit and you do have to work with it a bit, but again, that's not bad. I don't mind having to layer my mascara. I like to do that, actually. It gives me more control. And if it layers well, which it seems to be doing, then it's even more of a win. So I actually really like this mascara. This is a beautiful formula. I love that indeed it doesn't clump, and I love the way that it makes my lower lashes look. All right, so I have terrible foundation lips. Let's go ahead and do the last step of this full face. I have the CoverGirl Melting Pout Matte Lipstick. Obviously, you know me, I picked a nude shade. What shade is this? It's in Current Nude, of course. So let's see how this works. I've never tried any of their liquid lipsticks. Yeah, I actually really like the lipstick. It's comfortable, feels nice. That's really stunning. I want to try more of these colors. This is really nice. All right, you guys, so there you have it. This is a full face using only CoverGirl makeup. I have to say I am overall blown away by the products that I've tried. This lipstick is fantastic. I absolutely love it. The concealer, the foundation, and the primer, in love with. I would actually reach for those over and over and over again. The bronzer, surprisingly, again, I was on the fence and I really wanted to try this, but I am loving this bronzer. It blended beautifully. It looks stunning on the skin. The mascara is fantastic. I like the way the pressed powder made my skin look. I think, again, my complexion is looking quite flawless. I'm just not a huge fan of the ingredients. I'm just going to throw that out there. I wish I would have been able to try this, but it's totally busted. The blush is okay. I think it's pretty. Again, for the value and what you'd pay for it, I think you're getting what you pay for with this. It's not bad at all. I think it gave a nice wash of color. The highlight in it is really pretty. It's not bad. Definitely worth checking out. The eyeshadows leave me with something to be desired. I'm not a huge fan of these, although I feel like my eye look ended up working and it doesn't look bad. I just wish that there was more matte shades out of what I have here. If you guys have CoverGirl eyeshadows that you really love, leave me a comment down below and let me know which ones I should try, because again, with all the things that I did try that worked very well for me, I'm definitely intrigued. Last but not least, the brow pencil. Again, not bad at all. Is it my favorite product that I've ever tried for brows? No, but I like the shade. I like that it's cool toned. It matched my brows perfectly, and it was pretty easy to use. I just wasn't a huge fan of the very stiff formula, but again, it's all about how it ends, right? The end product, and I think it looks pretty good. So let me know what you guys think of this full face of CoverGirl makeup. Again, I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. I keep looking at my eyelashes here in my mirror because I am a huge fan of this mascara. So I'm going to wear this throughout my day. I will update you guys on how it wore in the description box below. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you are now more intrigued to try CoverGirl now that they have gone non-cruelty free. I would be interested in hearing that. Give this video a huge thumbs up if you like it, share it, and of course be sure to subscribe and to smash that bell button so that you get notifications when I upload brand new videos just like this one. I will have my 5,000 subscriber giveaway coming up here shortly. I'm just waiting for the item to arrive in the mail. I love you so much, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye, guys.